Peace on Earth. Ethan Indigo Smith here, the Philosopher Stoned, where we're going to discuss the spectrum of all things esoteric and exoteric, of all subjects, metaphysical and political, and we leave no stone unturned. All right, what is Taoism? Well, let's take a step back before we look at the overall understanding of what Taoism is, because it's got a lot to it that we can look at. But let's take a step back and take a look at what is an ism in reference to a religious spiritual system. I think that all of these systems have religious, somewhat dogmatic aspects and spiritual pathways aspects, and also secretive aspects and other methodology that might be pertinent to apply, useful for handling business on Earth with people, and uh, really aspects about immortality and the pursuit of immortality, more specifically. And so all different isms pertaining to religious and spiritual belief systems, self-development systems, out of these religious systems, they all have at their core, at their center, a secretive pursuit of immortality. Yes, Taoism too, certainly. Taoism and alchemy of the East is all about the pursuit of immortality. Some people took it merely exoterically, right? And ended up ingesting a lot of things that maybe they shouldn't have, and maybe they found good things to ingest too. Um, but really, the understanding of immortality in Taoism and maybe beyond Taoism is not the very simple definition that we understand. It's of course, in Taoism, gods might be mortal and face their demise and end, just like most beings, most any being. So all beings really on this realm, right? So what the pursuit of immortality is about in Taoism is actually concerning the lengthening and expansion of our original potential. And so prolonging our life and expanding our life and our influence through things that we create and interactions we have and honor we might bring about to our surroundings. For instance, this is also the pursuit of immortality to lengthen our existence and strengthen the power of our existence from its original form. Okay, so that being said, all different systems have that. Christianity has that within its many different streams that it brings into its system have different pursuits of immortality. Certainly, for instance, um, what is Taoism? Often people will look at Taoism and it's very simple. There is certainly philosophical Taoism, and there is developed from that religious Taoism as well. And there is also numerous, these different spiritual and religious systems, or philosophical and religious systems, have at their core uh, a, a shared pattern, but they might vary a bit. The shared pattern, the most simplistic way to understand what is Taoism, is alignment with nature, alignment with the proceedings and goings on of the one's surroundings and one's internal system in order to be balanced and productive and XYZ and so forth. So, at its most simplistic, Taoism is really an alignment with the natural and universal. And many of the ideas related to philosophical and or religious Taoism share that. But also, among many Taoist belief systems, has grown or in parallel with Taoist belief systems, has grown many different self development tools and systems and isms. Tai Chi, of course, for one. Tai Chi, Qigong, Gung Fu, these are all self development systems that might have, or rather, that certainly do have many different ways to apply the ideas and the movements and so on in how we behave in life and how we are and how we might deal with, God forbid, oppositional foe, right? Martial arts. But certainly Qigong, Tai Chi, Bagua, all the internal systems also help us plow the field, speak, read, dedicate ourselves to whatever. Now, also these systems have at their core the pursuit of immortality, right? So, Tai Chi is the grand ultimate system. Qi Gong is a breath gong, gong being self development system. Gung Fu is a self development hobby, right? So, what is Taoism? Alignment with nature. This is absolutely true. But in order to really understand what is Taoism in reference to the pursuit of immortality, which is, let's not get it twisted, the strengthening and lengthening of our existence, uh, we actually have to take that. This is all kind of esoteric in the first place, but that is the exoteric understanding of what is Taoism. Is it is alignment with the natural. Great. Now the esoteric answer to that is the opposite. Yes. In order to strengthen and lengthen our potential in terms of immortality in reference to Taoism, we actually have to disalign with the natural because nature will kill you. And so, what do I, an example of that most immediately that is a bad pattern that is very natural for people to get into? That if you want to strengthen and lengthen your potential towards immortality, that's referenced in all different isms, and most eloquently so and most exemplary so in Taoism. What's natural to do after you have a big meal? Maybe take a nap. Maybe you don't digest your food properly. Maybe you get into a pattern of falling asleep after you eat. That's a poor pattern. And that might be how nature is kind of bringing you to pattern out, have that be your tendency. Nature, when you get older, you're supposed to kind of, not do as much. Nature, nature is telling you to do so. In order to really develop your chi and so forth, you have to go with the 70% rule, many other different concepts, but you have to also go against nature, that part of nature that is saying, go to sleep, relax, right? So, what is Taoism? The exoteric answer is, of course, it is alignment with nature. The esoteric answer is that you have to be not in alignment with nature, more so in alignment with, what's often termed as uber natural, supernatural, the uberman, right? You have to be in nature and yet differentiated from the poor patterns of nature that will have you sleep after you eat, right? Or or many different other patterns that will bring you out of that consideration of strengthening and lengthening your potential. So there's the exoteric and there's the initiatory. Peace.